Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, the 9th of September, and I am live today. And we're going to continue on our training. I want to welcome everybody today. Don't forget, use that chat box. Post in there. Tell me where you're at. Tell me what's going on, what's happening in your part of the world. If you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, please use that chat box. It's very helpful to me because I can tell what you guys need to learn, what you need to know. I've got my dog barking in the background. I don't know if you can hear her. She's going crazy. The exterminator's here today. So she'll calm down in just a second. Today, we're going to continue on. What we've been doing this week, every single day of the week, is that I've been guiding you through how to build $1 million e-commerce store. And these are all things that actually work. These are things I've done. Some things I practice more than others, but I wanted to give you guys the full gist of all this stuff. And if you put these things into your site, guys, and you do these things on a regular basis, you're going to sell more products. And having $1 million site is not a hard thing to do. I mean, I know some of you out there may be thinking, oh my God, $1 million is so much money. It's not that much money nowadays. I mean, I was just listening to the price of food and inflation, and rental cars are up 70%. So you need to make more money. So now's the time where, you know, if you let me move my bell over a little bit here. There we go. If you weren't making enough money before, now's the time to capitalize on this, guys. It's never been easier to do this. There's so many tools. There's so many automations. It's so inexpensive to really run a great online store. Now on Tuesday, I went through one through 5. Yesterday, I went through 6 through 10. Today, I'm going to be doing 11 through 15. And then Friday, we're going to cap it off. I'm going to do 16 through 20. And then on Saturday, you don't want to miss Saturday. It is a tribute to 9/11. What's happened since then, some facts that you did not know about 9/11, some things that are still going on that you may not know about 9/11. So you don't want to miss that. What's going on, Richard? Good to see you, buddy. I don't know if you're still down in Mexico or where you're at. You're always traveling around somewhere. He gets around a lot. Shoot, I've known Richard for what, maybe 5-6 years now. Long time, Richard, right? He's a great guy in real estate. So you can post in there what you do too, Richard, if you want. But I'm going to continue on with this training today, guys. You know, having an e-commerce store is a great thing. I've had one since 2009. So a pretty long time, about 12 years now. And that's one of my main sources of income is e-commerce. So if you want to make a lot of money and you don't want to be tied down to a business to where you have to go into an office every single day, e-commerce is a great way to do it. And like I said, I'm going to get on with the next steps today, but don't forget, post in that chat section there. I'm checking my messages here as I'm talking to you guys, because what I will be doing is answering any of those questions that you have in that chat section. And I want to pick up where I left off yesterday. The last one I talked about was ensuring your store is mobile friendly, mobile responsive. And guys, that's super important because nowadays, you know, almost everybody's ordering on the phone. They just are. I can't think of, you know, how often I actually use my phone and just pick it up and order something. You know, I'll be in a store looking at something and I'll say, I wonder if that's on, I hate to say it, Amazon. And if it's on Amazon and it's cheaper and, you know, I don't have to pay shipping, heck, I'll order it there in many cases. But I do try to buy in stores as much as possible because I want to support the stores. Richard says, I went to Dallas, now in Houston, next week, New York City. Man, you're traveling around. What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. I want to know what you're doing. Why are you traveling so much? Not that I blame you. Shoot, I'd like to do it too. Paul says, when building a list, curious how many lead magnets you have used. Sorry, ADD. I have numerous lead magnets, Paul. And since I have several different companies, they're different lead magnets for different things. So I have ones for making money online and helping people with that. I've got ones for survival. I couldn't count how many. I would say probably 80 to 100 different ones that I currently use. So a decent amount, though it's not many compared to some companies. Some companies have thousands of them. But that's about what I have right now. And I need to create more, because the more you create, the more you open up possibilities, you know, and you can be more specific. So our number 11 today, if you're wondering what number 11 is, it's track analytics and iterate. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Track analytics and iterate. Online store owners really can't improve their growth strategies without really knowing what's going on. You've got to monitor your progress. You've got to see what's working, what's not working. Without analytics, it's almost impossible to do. Now, fortunately, Google provides that to you. You know, the best way to track your analytics is use a tool like Google Analytics. It is one of the best tools out there. And I know there's a lot of tools for analyzing your site and all that, but you know, Google's pretty darn good and it is free. That program will provide sellers with really the kind of metrics you're going to need to make their decisions about your store. It's going to give you percentage of product sales, number of site page visits. It'll give you your abandoned carts if you want that. You can set up analytics for your online store very easily. You know, there's plenty of videos on it. You can go to Google Analytics and look it up. You can go to YouTube and you can look it up. But there's plenty of places that you can learn how to do this stuff. How much time do you spend on analytics daily or weekly? You know, not a lot of time unless I'm really doing a big meeting on it and we're really digging into everything. Pretty much, I look at my analytics every day, but it only takes like a minute or two to glance and see what's working, what's not working. If I'm doing a email campaign, a lot of times I'll A/B test a headline or a picture in an email or something like that. And I do look at those, but a lot of times I'll set it to where once it reaches a certain number, it will automatically just go to the one that is doing the best. So, you know, after, I don't know, 1,000 people open the email and click, I'll pretty much know which one's working better, and I'll stick with that. As far as analytics and sales and all that, I don't, on Survivalcave Food, I don't look at it as much. And the reason being is we've been around for so many years, I pretty much know what's working there, what's not. When we change the page itself, I will take a good look at it and I'll follow that a little bit more heavily. So it's not I allocate 30 minutes a day to this or anything like that. Sometimes it's a lot more. Cancun, Richard says, went to visit sister and scuba dive. Dallas and Texarkana to attend niece wedding. Man, you got a lot of family stuff going on there, Richard. New York City, I'm doing a road trip to visit great gourmet dishes from different restaurants. Man, Richard, you need to video this stuff and put it up on YouTube. I'm telling you, you need to do that. Look at Mikey Chin. Mikey Chin has been making millions of dollars doing exactly what you're doing. The only difference is in him and you is he's filming it. Film it, put it up online. I guarantee you somebody's going to want to watch it. So you do want to continually track metrics with analytics so that you can really form long-term insights on how to engage customers more effectively. It's super important to do that. And it'll help you get more purchases too. You'll sell more stuff. Merchants need help setting up analytics. You can find somebody, you know, on Upwork or Fiverr or something like that. But there's also, you know, guides, you know, and analytics you can use. When you set up your analytics, make sure you use the enhanced e-commerce tracking. Okay, enable that. That's the thing in analytics. That feature will give you a wide range of insights for your seller activity. You also want to create segments on Google Analytics to form data-driven insights on your key buyer group. And you can find videos on that, like I say, on YouTube. I have some instruction on this channel too. You can search it there. So what else is going on here? I see a lot of people, let's see here. I like how when looking for templates, you can check at the bottom of a page to see the template used usually. Yeah, it depends. Like, you know, we have a lot of custom coding, so that wouldn't be true on ours. But if somebody's using templates, it will definitely tell you. You can find that. You can also view this page source code by right-clicking on it, and that'll pull up a window, and you can do view source code, and you can find all the metadata too if you want to know what title tags they're using, what keywords they're using, all that. You can also use it for that. Kind of spy on your competition. Now the next one I have struggled with. I know it works really well, and I have implemented it for the most part on Survivalcave Food now. Number 12 is offer free shipping. Free shipping is huge, guys. Huge, 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 huge. So do you have a checklist or system to maximize your daily performance? You know, I guess my checklist is more in my brain right now, and that's not a good way to do it, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. I know certain things I need to get done every day. I know certain things I have on my agenda every day. This morning, I have a meeting with a CEO that's going to be doing some packaging for us for our freeze-dried and dehydrated foods. So that popped up last minute. So I've got to do that. And, I try not to have a super rigid day unless I'm like filming 12 videos in a day, which is pretty rigid. But unless I'm doing something like that, I want to be able to shift gears and switch and go to something that needs my attention. And that happens often. Now there's certain things that I have to get done every day. We have to take care of customer orders. We have to answer any customer inquiries. Those things have to get done every day. I like to also, and I'm gonna get back to this free shipping in a second because it's a big thing. I like to also try to answer my comments on a daily basis. I don't always do that. Sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 days, but I always make sure I get that done because if people spend enough time to put a comment or ask a question, I owe them the respect of answering quickly and efficiently. So I try to do that. So free shipping, thanks to Amazon Prime, free shipping is now an expectation of a lot of online shoppers. Now, the added cost of standard shipping can easily make buyers today not check out. They won't check out because of the lack of free shipping. Sellers who can afford to do free shipping should do so if they can provide the service. But I know a lot of you are going to say, well, JR, I just can't because my products don't allow me enough profit margin. Well, let's talk about that. How about if you change your profit margin? How about if you were charging, $229 for your product? Well, why don't you just charge, figure out your average shipping's $40 or something like that, across the board and charge $269. Okay, why not do that? What you can do is you can take your average shipping, let's say it's $40, sometimes it's $50, sometimes it's $30, and you go right between there and just add that to the price and include free shipping. That free shipping matters more than the price sometimes. I mean, it's really kind of crazy. That's one of the biggest turnoffs. It's one of the biggest cart abandonment things is the lack of free shipping, guys. Now, we've done it pretty much on Survivalcave food, with the exception of small orders. I still charge for shipping on those. But if somebody's spending $2.99 or more, which is the majority of my orders, I would say about 95% of my orders are over $300. Then I give them free shipping now. We've added that, and I've seen some good results from that. I've seen a lot of people buying off that. Let's see here. I think I got most of the comments. Keep putting those comments in, guys. I really do appreciate them. They do help a lot. But think about this: when the upfront cost of offering free shipping may hurt at first, a lot of people selling online do see a greater return with the increased purchases of offering this policy. So let's say you were normally making $30 an order and you go down to $20 an order. But if you double or triple your number of orders, you've overall made more money. And that's how you have to think about it. On shipping, how much work went into packaging and finding best way to ship? Oh my God, Paul. Oh my God, you've opened up a wound here. We sell canned meats at our survival food company. We also sell dehydrated freeze-dried foods. The cans got dented so easily. And originally we tried to just put them in a box and ship them. And that was a disaster. I mean, a disaster. We had so much damage. And then what we did is we put paper around them. We wadded up like this packing paper and put that around them. And that was very time consuming. I mean, you could do it and it kind of worked. Very time consuming. And then we went to peanuts. Where you have that big funnel thing and you get this handle. And I used to do it. I was in the warehouse putting peanuts in this box, and then I'd put all the cans in there and sprinkle more peanuts on top of that. And then we would pack it and ship it out. Peanuts were very expensive. And it was, once again, time consuming, because when I had to pull that trigger, or my warehouse person had to pull that trigger and let those peanuts drop into there, that took time. And time is so very important in the warehouse. So now what we do is we actually have a fulfillment center. And we have styrofoam inserts that go below on each side and on top. They're about that thick, and we have almost zero damage at this point. Occasionally we'll get something, but for the most part, it's about zero damage. So a lot went into it. In addition to that, we had to shift over to a much heavier duty box. It's a double wall cardboard box. So we got double wall cardboard box, styrofoam inserts, and then we package it really well, and then we ship it out. So it's quite extensive. Our boxes are actually custom made. for our product. So it's really, it's a pain, Paul, but we don't have any damage anymore. So to make sure your customers are noticing your generous policy, you want to highlight this on your store, guys. You want to put on the website free shipping. We have it on ours. We have it on the home page. There are a few actionable steps you could do to attract buyers to your shipping policy. You can offer free shipping to lower the overall cost of your item for buyers and incentivize the purchase. That's something else you could do. You could do like we do, like you have to have a minimum purchase amount. You can highlight it throughout the entire store that you offer this free shipping so that buyers are actually motivated to keep shopping. And that's something we need to do on our new site. We haven't done that yet. It's reminding, I make all these notes of things you can do, and I don't always do everything I say you should do, but I eventually get around to it. So a lot of times I'm teaching myself too. I'm saying, hey, these are all the must-haves. Let me go ahead and get them done. Then I implement a lot of these on my site. So yeah, Tyann, what's going on? You're late. You're late. Okay, we're going to take away points. You got to be here on time. I'm kidding you, of course. I'm just joking with you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your attendance. Tyann is a good regular, along with a lot of you guys that are in here right now. A lot of you guys have become friends over the years. Number 13, we're up to number 13. Tyann, don't forget, go back and listen to number 11 and 12. Number 13, and put some questions in there, Tyann. I want to talk to you. Build your outreach list. What does that mean? Okay, so growing your business involves more than just your customers. It's not just merchant and customer. There's more to it than that. You've got to reach out to individuals in your industry that can help you reach more buyers within your target audience. Okay, so you want to be networking with the right groups that allows merchants to generate product buzz and extend their reach and connect with as many customers as possible. Okay, so I'm going to give you a list of these, and I would suggest you jotting these down because you won't normally think of these. Let's see, Tyann, LOL, I know I had to get a client and grab her breakfast. Okay, that's fine. I'm playing with you. I'm glad you showed up, and I'm glad you're here. You are certainly welcome. First thing you could do is traditional reporters, writers at newspapers. And I've had several articles written up on our company in Virginia and California. I haven't done it here yet, but I probably will. Writers at publications who specialize in your industry can create content about your products. Now you will think, oh, what I do is not newsworthy. You never know. You know, when you contact some of these reporters, these local reporters now, they are all scrambling to get people to read stuff. So, you know, getting an article out there can be very helpful. I may even contact the people here in Texas and see about, you know, getting some articles written about our company here since we've moved our headquarters here. I think that would be a good article. And that's what I did in California. And that's what I did in Virginia. They contacted me actually. And then they did a follow-up story in Virginia too. So we've gotten several articles written on us, and that gets some buzz, man. And I got a lot of sales off that. You know, people would say, hey, I saw that article about you. It looks like you got great products. You know, I bought your product off that article. And those are free things. And once again, if one reporter doesn't contact you back or is not interested, contact another and another and another. There's tons of them out there. There's tons of reporters out there. There's, you know, actually you can use some agencies to get your information out there if you want to do that. But I would say, you know, one of the first things you want to do is talk to reporters. You may not think you're newsworthy, but you are. My business was finally able to reopen 2 months ago. Great. It does real estate title searches nationwide at gettitlesearches.com. Okay, so check out Richard's stuff there. Little self promo, which is fine. I want you guys to self promote. I think a lot of times we don't do that. We're afraid, oh man, I don't want to tell them to buy from me. Why not? Promote yourself all the time. Richard Senta, that is cool. Okay, Tyann likes what you got going on, Richard. Yeah, Richard's been doing that for years. He's very successful at that. He's also a landlord of some homes too. Next up, industry bloggers. Writers who create content on blogs that focus on your industry and showcase products like yours. Those are great people to contact. And all you got to do is Google it. You know, blog on, like I would say, blog on survival food, blog on survival, blog on anything to do with survivalists. I could find all kinds of bloggers on it. Next up is social media influencers, people who comment about your industry on social media and have a large number of followers. Now, a large number of followers, guys, can be 1,000 people. It can be 5,000, 10,000. You don't have to have somebody that's got millions of followers. What I found is these micro influencers, people who have like 1 to 5,000 people, they have a better connection with their audience, and them talking about your product can go, I mean, can skyrocket your business. You'd be surprised. And what you may want to do is offer them your product. Say, hey, why don't you try out my software? Why don't you try out my physical product? See what you think of it. Talk to your audience about it. In most cases, if you've got a good product, they're going to give you a good review, and you can even offer them, some affiliate money. Hey, if you send me some traffic, I'll pay you money on it. These micro influencers are looking for stuff like that, and they're pretty easy to find on the internet. So check out some of those. And then you may also find, next one I want to tell you is similar entrepreneurs. My screen here keeps blanking out. Oh, there we go. Similar entrepreneurs, like-minded entrepreneurs who are engaged in your industry and are familiar with your product. So, somebody who builds bunkers underground, hey, they're going to know people who want survival food. So, we could have some synergy going on there. Have you ever used Haro, help a reporter out? If so, is it any good? I am familiar with it. I haven't heard anything bad about it. I have not used it myself, so I can't say, but I have heard some good things about it, Paul. So yeah, I don't know anything negative about that. I have heard of it. So anyhow, those groups I gave you above, before I got to the stage, all those groups, do those things, guys, do them. They do work. I've done most of those things. Okay. They do work. Let me see if there's any of them I haven't done. No, I've done every single one of these things. So, make sure you do them. And that can spread the word of your product really quick. It can get you going, get you some traction real fast. Okay. And I know it's uncomfortable talking to people you don't know and asking for stuff and all that. And sometimes you're going to be turned down, but you know what? Just do it. You can also use tools like BuzzSumo to find more influencers in your industry that you could reach out to. You can organize individuals who you want to reach out to with specialized categories. You can look at the number of followers they have, the likelihood of them responding, but I don't even worry about the likelihood of them responding. The thing is, just try it. You don't know. You can't predict what people are going to do or if they're going to help you out. Richard Senta, you could get articles going on how to get into real estate for newbies. And I could do some on helping family with dementia caregiving. Yeah, that's good stuff. That really is, Tyann. And those are good suggestions. And that's where a lot of these ideas come from, guys. We exchange these ideas online. We share with each other. We try to help each other out. And that's what it's all about. Now we're up to number 14. Number 14. Okay, I like number 14. It's use ready-to-go template tools. Ready-to-go template tools. Okay, merchants who don't have a lot of coding background, which is probably most of us, right? Because that's not what we do. Consider using some kind of software. Use Shopify. I love Shopify, but there's other things out there like BigCommerce. There's Volusion. There's a lot of them out there that they're ready to go. All you gotta do is upload your stuff. The programs have built-in store templates so sellers can easily customize their sites without any knowledge of programming or graphic design. It's a lot easier. I love Shopify. Shopify is a great software, guys, and it's very inexpensive. I think it's like 39 bucks or something like that. And it allows sellers to easily customize their online store design and all these things I'm talking about. You can do it in Shopify. Okay. I should have a link in the description for Shopify to get you a discount. So check for that in the description after this video is published, not while it's live. There is no description while it's live. They just don't do that. So some other things you can do when you're thinking about these pre-designed stores, make sure the design of your template actually aligns with your key buyers' personalities and brand image. You want all this stuff to kind of match up. Software like Shopify, BigCommerce, they typically have recommendations about which types of businesses are suited for each design. So, if you're a law firm, they're going to suggest this. If you're selling, clothing, they're going to sell or suggest this. If you're selling jewelry, and you can actually sort by the type of store you're building and find the right themes that match it, or at least they say match it. If you pay for Shopify theme or other software template, consider the cost of a graphic designer as well. It doesn't cost that much. You know, a lot of these things we like, oh my gosh, I can't afford a designer. Sometimes it's $20 or $50. It's not a lot of money. A designer is going to be more expensive than most all templates. However, it's worth knowing that the cost difference assets to the value of the template. Okay, it's going to improve the overall value. So keep that in mind. How are we doing on time here? We're at 9:24. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I try to keep it around 30 minutes. I got one more to tell you about, and I think this is one of the biggest ones that you should consider, and it's keep an eye on the competition. Customers browse through online stores looking for the lowest prices and the best overall shopping experiences. To keep buyers attracted to their store, let me get a sip here. Do this. Merchants should identify shops that are similar to their own and they can compare against. Okay, this gives you a benchmark. You don't have to do guessing, all this guesswork over everything. You can actually have some type of comparison. And ask yourself, are those stores offering a 60-day or a 30-day return policy? What are they offering? Are they offering free shipping? Is it based on paid options? Is it based on how much people spend? Could you beat what they're doing? Could you have a better offer? Figuring out what makes competitors more advantageous will enable you to determine what you need to change in your business. Okay, once you see what they're doing. Now, this is very, very helpful. Maybe you're giving away too much. Maybe you're offering a 90-day return and everybody else is 30 days. So you could bump to 60 days. Okay. So what are some of the things you could do? You could search for products like yours on a major marketplace, not only on other online stores, but, you know, look on Amazon, look on eBay. And there's some indicators there about competitive pricing. Now, I don't like selling on Amazon or eBay because it's like a race to the bottom on price, but it can give you some benchmark as to where you're at. You know, you can use their rates as a benchmark to calculate what you're going to charge. Consider the design of the competitor sites. If you don't know how to design it and you're worried if it's not quite right, look at what they're doing. Not just the product offerings, but look at the design. Look at the navigation. Look at how easy it is to find products. How it may be more user-friendly than your store, okay? And that's why it's attracting customers. So do that, okay? That's going to be very, very helpful. Let's see here. Do you find that writing a book helped you with branding and allowing you to stand out from the herd? 100%, yes. Books are awesome, guys, and every one of you listening right now, listen to me. Look, listen, look, listen. You have a book in you. You do have a book in you. I would like to write 10 more, but time-wise doesn't allow me to do it. But I wrote a book in 2000, I think it was 16, called The Great American Food Shortage. Let me see here. Google on Amazon, The Great American Food Shortage by J.R. Fisher. Okay, I'm gonna send that to you. I said Google it, but basically, I wrote a book called The Great American Food Shortage. You can find it on Amazon. And that book was really kind of helpful. It was, when I wrote it, a lot of people thought I was a little whacked, you know, because it talked about a food shortage that could occur due to civil unrest, due to a world illness, and there could be food shortages and increases and people hoarding and all that. And when I wrote the book, people were like, "That's never going to happen. That's not going to happen." And guess what? Guess what? That book did very well at the start of 2020 for some reason. I can't think of why. And people use that now as a guide because it tells you how to prepare. It tells you recipes you can do. It tells you why there's food shortages. It talks about the supply chain. It talks about the small group of people that really control all the food in the United States. And in the world. There's a group of people that control the world food supply. And in that book, I tell you about it. It's pretty interesting stuff, so you may want to check that out. And yes, that book has helped my business a lot because they look at it and they go, hey, this guy predicted what was going to happen and he sells survival foods. He may be a guy we want to buy survival food from. So yeah, that book, that book did very well. It did help me a whole lot. And I appreciate you bringing that up too. That was a little, I guess, promo for me, right? And I look like I'm frozen here online, guys. I hope I'm not, but it looks like it's kind of frozen online. Anyhow, I'm about to wind down. Tomorrow will be the last day of this training on e-commerce stores. A lot of good information I've shared with you guys, stuff that I do on a regular basis, stuff that can really, really help you out. stuff that was going to make you more money if you implement it. Okay, so all these are really good ideas, but ideas are like other parts of our body. You know, if I'm not going to say it, but bottom line is an idea is nothing if you don't implement it. You have to implement the ideas. Super important that you implement ideas. And I'm seeing that as I'm looking at YouTube over here, it looks like my screen is a little frozen, but I don't know if you guys are seeing that or not. Let's see. Paul says, for great American food shortage, offer a revised edition or expanded edition like Tim Ferriss did with 4-hour work week. I think that's a great idea. If I can get time to do it, I think that's a great idea, Paul. There's it's like I got this great idea list. You just can't believe what all's on it. And say, if I could implement all that stuff, I'd be a zillionaire. But I think that is the key, is not having enough time to doing all this stuff. That does limit you, and you've got to kind of focus on things you want to do. But I still should do that. Still coming through good on audio and video. Okay. Well, I guess my screen on my iPad is just frozen here. I don't know why it would do that. Let me just see here if I can make it pop up again. And guys, put your questions in there real quick. I'm winding down now. So you're going to lose your opportunity if you don't. Keep in mind also that even if you're watching this and it's not live, you can always put questions in the comment section below. Any problems you're having, any issues, any successes you're having. I love when people share a successful story because it motivates other people. And I didn't tell you, darn, I didn't tell you to subscribe. You need to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there, click it, turn it from red to gray. Don't forget to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every single time I go live. My office was well used yesterday because my wife, we were having some construction work done in our garage. We're having this epoxy stuff put all over the floor of the garage, and they were very noisy out there with grinders and sanders and all this stuff. And she had to record at my office. So if you want to see my office suited to her, because it's all rearranged and redecorated, check out Jessica L. Fisher, the Furry Family Coach, and on her podcast. And check that out. It's called the Pet Parent Reset. Which it actually talks about how to train your dog differently than you ever have before. It's stuff that actually works. So check her out, Pet Parent Reset podcast. It's a really good podcast. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and I guess close it down. Tomorrow's our last day. It's kind of sad. We've had 4 days of the awesome training about your store. Tomorrow is going to be number 16 to 20. I've covered 15 different things you can do on an e-commerce site. In addition to that, on Saturday, we have a tribute to 9/11 that you're not going to want to miss. I mean, this is really a cool tribute. It's not just a tribute. It's going to give you some insight into 9/11. Everything's factual. It's not politically motivated. So I'm not trying to get you to believe anything. It's not about conspiracies or any of that. I'm just going to give you some facts about 9/11 you may not have known about. And we're going to show respect to all those people. And people are still dying from it. And I'll explain to you why they're still dying from it. It's a pretty sad situation. A friend of mine loved stuffing packages with big, heavy manuals to add a more perceived value. And he made millions in the karate arena. Huh, that's very interesting, Richard. I'd like to see what you're talking about there. I'm not quite sure. Big, heavy manuals to add more perceived value. Stuffing packages. I don't know what that means. Tell me. Explain that one there. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, there's so many great ideas, right? It's so cool. It's like, I want to do all these great ideas. I just can't get to them all. But guys, I really appreciate you being here. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications. That's real important that you do the drop down and turn on all notifications. Otherwise you won't be notified. You could miss one of these trainings, or worse yet, you could go looking for them and they're not there and you're just wasting your time. So if you turn on those notifications, you don't have that worry. Paper manuals with his video trainings. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. It gave more value, right? Because a video is not very heavy, is it? But the manual would make it seem like it. I think these 4 days will make a great lead magnet as a download. You're right, Paul. It probably would. And that's something I need to consider, putting that together. I know I'm getting ready to leave, but I found some training. I trained a company called Veraheel. And they had paid me for, I think, several days. They flew their upper management staff to San Diego, and we were in a conference room, and I trained them about digital marketing for hours and hours and hours. And I have that on video, and I think I'm going to offer it to you guys so you can actually see what I do with a real business client. And this company was already doing millions in sales, but they went from about $200,000 a month to about $800,000 a month after they took my training, and I really felt good about that. And they posted it online, and they really enjoyed it, so that was cool. Paul says, "Have a blessed day, gang." Yes, have that blessed day. Make it count. When you show up tomorrow, make sure you did something. You created something that didn't exist. It can be a video, it could be a blog, it could be a new web page, it could be something. Create something today, guys. Do something today. Make something happen. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate every single one of you guys who listen to this. Even if you're not live, hey guys, it doesn't matter. I appreciate your attendance. Put your comments below. Give me a thumbs up. If everybody on here now would just give me a thumbs up real quick, just click that thumbs up. That would matter a whole lot. It helps the distribution of my videos, and it gets me more views, and it gets out there, and it helps more people. If you notice, I haven't sold you anything, okay? So please do that. Help me out with distribution. Subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Turn on notifications. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.